Hi you guys, it's me, Chris Colley. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and I am here in my Rochester Hills Rubber Room studio and it's Monday. So that means it is More Fun Monday. So this is our Rubber Room More Fun Monday class. And I'm gonna see, just be sure I'm in the right spot. And I am. It looks like you're getting a big glare off this card. Saturday and Sunday were my class days, and so I'm going to share with you, this is the rainbow class that we did, and I'm going to share that with you tonight. So we are going to be using the Rainbow Designer Series paper. It's a 6x6 pack of Designer Series paper that is in the Celebration catalog. Let's see if I can get this centered in there where you guys can see me. I have the most terrible time trying to get things centered. So here we go. I think that's a good spot. Maybe a little bit more here. All right, so this is the, I think it's, what's it called? The Sunshine and Rainbow 6x6 pack of Designer Series paper. And this is an item that you can pick for free with any minimum $50 purchase. And you can see all these beautiful different patterns. It's really a kind of unique set in that it has pastel colors and it also has bright colors. So it's a lot of fun and it coordinates with the Rainbow of Happiness and the rainbow or brilliant rainbow dies. So you get this gorgeous stamp set and then these coordinating dies. And you can get the bundle at 10% off for $44. So you're almost to that $50 range. You can add some of this great mesh ribbon that we're going to be using and get to the $50 range and get your Designer Series paper for free. So what a great deal. Let's go ahead and get started, because we have, I already know all of you guys have a shopping list that says at least $50 long. So I'm just going to share with you why you need this stamp set and that free paper. This card to me is just so happy and fun, and it just screams brightness and cheery. And so let's start off with that one. One of the products I used in this one are our adhesive sheets, and our adhesive sheets come in one piece and they're similar to our dimensionals. I'm going to dump all of my little goodies out, all of my coordinating dies and such out of there. So it comes in a pack, and it is one full adhesive sheet. So our dimensionals come in those little diamonds or octagons, and they have regular ones and they have mini ones. And then we have our Stampin' strips that are or adhesive strips that are the long skinny strips. And then we have adhesive sheets. And you can cut things out of these adhesive sheets that will then be three-dimensional, like our dimensionals are. Okay, so if you look at our card, let me see if I can get up there close for you. If you look at our card, you can see that that happy is lifted up on dimensionals, as well as the rainbow and the little heart. Okay, so that's going to give a lot of depth to our card. And one of the things that we're going to use is this border die. And that's going to give us this look up here. And we kind of used it upside down. So you could, you could put it anywhere on your card that you wanted to. But this is where I put mine. And I think that the extra little bit at the bottom there, that's just a little, like maybe 3/4, half an inch of cardstock is really nice there too. So we have a lot of die cuts to cut out from here. Or maybe we don't. What happens when you cut the rainbow, we cut the rainbow in all of these different colors, but the rainbow die is such that when you use it, you're going to get 4 pieces that are the same color, okay? So nobody really wants their rainbow to be all Bermuda Bay or all Granny Apple Green. So you can see we've shared them and used different pieces from each of them, right? How fun is that? And then we did our heart. So I'm going to share with you we're going to do our happy. And then we have this white piece. Let me get my little card packet here. I've been talking and forgot completely about my card packet. So I'm going to cut this piece, and that's going to give it that little extra border piece right there. If you can see, we've cut like a flag on the bottom of it, and that's using our dies. And it's just a little kind of point there. And it looks like my piece of paper is a little too skinny. So let me grab a piece of white, and then we'll start. Of course, mine would be too skinny, right? I usually have a packet of scrap paper up here, but not today. And here's our foam adhesive sheets, so you can see that's the size that they are. And I think there's 6 of them in a pack, so there's 6 sheets in one packet. Okay, so let's see. How big this is. Let's see if I can measure it on here. You guys know how good I am at measuring, right? Looks like it's 2.5. So let's get this paper trimmer out, and we'll cut 2.5. We can always go back and make it smaller, but we can't go back and make it bigger. So I'm going to start with my bigger. Oh, perfect. Okay. And then this way, we want 3 1/4. And then we're gonna do a ride along on our our cut and emboss machine, so that we only have to do 1 pass through instead of 2. And that's simply just because we have all of these leftovers from our class. Okay, so we are going to cut our ribbon trim, and we're going to cut our happy out of our dimensional page. And I'm going to put a little sticky note on there, just because I don't want it to be moving around once I get it onto my cut and emboss machine, because it looks like I have just the perfect amount of room on there to get my word out of it. Okay, I'm going to use my little sticky on this little border piece, so I know it's going to be straight when it comes out. And I also want to space it in these little circles. They look like little rainbows. I want to space it in there so that I know I'm going to have an even amount on each side. And then with this one, I just want my point to meet the bottom and the middle. Okay, so I'm going to put another little sticky on there. And these pieces, when you come to class, are all cut like this, so you can easily put them through the cut and emboss. And if you you place a $35 minimum order using this month's hostess code, then you'll get card kits for these for free. You'll get them for all 3 cards. There will be no stamping done, but all of the die cuts will be cut, and the paper will be all cut and ready to go. You just have to stamp and assemble them. I'm going to turn my cut and emboss around. And I also, when you do that, will snail mail you some tutorials. So that's kind of fun. We'll get some celebration tutorials. All right, so let's get our little pack of goodies here. Here's our tag. And here's our border. And I'm just gonna, this one of course popped off there. may have to go back and add another sticky note to that, but let's just see. If we can get it on there, I'm gonna add one. I don't know why I'm being so goofy, because we could make our happy out of any of these other colors that we have here that are all set up too, so. Oh my goodness, come on. Got 2 of them there. And so they're not sticking. Okay, so we'll do there and we'll do here. Okay, and I'll pop these through. And my sandwich is going to be a number, my base plate, a number 2, a 3, all of my dies facing down the cutting side, and another 3. And you don't have to mix up your sandwich just because you're using that dimensional sheet. Okay, so it's the same sandwich with our paper and with our dimensional sheet. So you can see it, cut my cardstock, and you get all of these little great rainbow pieces too. So you can save those if you want to do another rainbow later, which you might. And then here's our tag. And you have that great stitching there. Isn't that fun? Just that little bit of stitching on your edge. And then we have our happy. And these are from the Word Wishes, I think it's called. And if you don't have those dies, you definitely need them. See, when I'm popping it off here, you can see how it has that same look as our dimensionals do. Okay? But the Well Wishes dies, oh my gosh, they have so many great words in it that you could use it for Mother's Day, Father's Day, Easter, all kinds of great things. You could personalize a birthday card. I could say happy birthday mom or dad. I'm gonna put these up here, get them out of the way, move my plate. Okay, so we have in our card packet, this is 5.5 by 8.5, and it's already scored on the 8.5 inch side. And hi Carol, hi Debbie, hi Diana. Debbie, to keep my plates flat, I store them inside my machine. And before I go, I will share that with you. They are gonna warp some. A lot of demonstrators use one plate just for the bottom and one plate for the top, and then they rotate the top plate. There's no real good way to keep them flat. The more you use them, the more warp they're gonna get. It's just kind of the nature of the beast. So this one is scored at that 4 1/4 line, and I'm just gonna burnish it there. And then I'm going to add this little kind of border piece just to my designer series paper. And you can use either side of the designer series paper, it doesn't matter, but I want this card to be really bright and just kind of almost punch you in the face. It's so happy looking, okay? So I'm gonna put this border on, and this is Magenta Madness cardstock. And I'm just gonna use my Stampin' Seal. I need to get her started apparently. Just gonna be fussy today. Well, maybe I'm at the end. I'm not sure what's going on. So we'll just grab another one. If you're like me, I have 5 or 6 of them there open, and mine of course are all empty. Let's see if there's another one in here. There we go. So let's try this one and see if it's the lucky one today. It looks like it is. Okay, so I'm just gonna put my Stampin' Seal on there. And you can, again, turn it upside down if you want. It's gonna look good either way, but I want mine kind of to look more like rainbows. So I'm gonna put it up. And in this class, we used our mesh ribbon. If you guys don't have any of this silver mesh ribbon, it is so amazing. I absolutely love it. So I'm just gonna bring it around. I'm gonna cut, I guess I'll just cut one piece, what the heck. And bring it around and tie it in a knot. So I'm gonna cut it about this long. And what I really like about this is you can leave it wide like this and get a really cool look. You can cut it in half. You can fold it. We're just gonna kind of give it a little bit of a twist. So I'm just gonna twist it like this. Put it under my cardstock. And because I'm gonna put this tag over here, I'm gonna tie my knot over here. And that's all I'm gonna do for this one. I'm just gonna tie it in a knot. So no little tricks or tips or anything like that. I'm just gonna fold it up and tie it in a knot. And I think I want it to go like this. Okay, pretty fun, right? And then I'm gonna put my Stampin' Seal on the back of here and then just adhere it to my card base. Kind of move that off there, so I'm going to make sure it's in the middle. Okay, I'm going to make sure my card is going in the right way. It's going to open this way. I can't tell you guys how many times I have set my top down and it's not, the card's opening the wrong way. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of hold both of my corners until I get it straight and then put it down. I think when I hold both of my corners, I have a better chance of getting my whole thing down straight, okay? So I'm gonna bring in my little tag and I'm gonna make my tag before I put it on. I don't know where my little pokey tool is, so I'm gonna use my snips and I'm just gonna punch out all the insides of these letters. I'm gonna start with my words at the bottom. And then I'm gonna put one of my rainbows at the top. And that will allow me to know just where I wanna place the other two rainbows so that I have, rainbows, so that I have all of the colors I can fit on there. Okay. And I'm actually gonna use scraps from what we had left from class yesterday. And these are sticky on both sides like the dimensionals. So when you're popping these little circles out, they are sticky on the back. So like the dimensionals, they'll be in the bottom of your slippers and your dog's nose and all those other fun places, right? Okay, so I'm just gonna peel my back off. And there I can see my little P. The paper's back there. It didn't pop out, just my top part. Okay. There we go. So I'm just gonna place my happy down here, like that. I think I want it to go just a little, and it doesn't have to be straight. So don't flip out if it's not. It really is not gonna matter once you get it on your card if it's straight or not straight. So let's see what I have for rainbows. Just shared them with you guys, so I know they're all here. Okay, so I have the smallest one is gonna be pink. And then my next one up is gonna be my Granny Apple Green. And then I have Bermuda Bay, and then I'm gonna start with my Mango Melody. And if you don't know the color of your cardstock or what it looks like, that's perfectly okay, because on the back of your designer series paper, it tells you exactly what colors you have. Okay, so I'm gonna put this down. And then our next one is gonna be Bermuda Bay. Alrighty. And I do wanna make sure that mine line up at the bottom. Okay, and then we're going to do green apple green. So you can see when you're done with each rainbow that you cut, you're going to cut 4 pieces of paper, or coordinating paper, and then you will get like 16 rainbows out of it, because you'll get 4 of each one. And that really saves on your cardstock a lot. Okay, so I have all of those. And then I know I had a little heart popping around here. It's on those little dimensional sheets. And I'm just gonna put it right in there. Okay, how fun is that? I really like this card. It's one of my favorite ones, just because it is so bright and so colorful. Okay, so another one of the things that we're going to use with all of these cards are these iridescent rhinestones. So if you had the bundle and you were trying to get to your $50, you could add these, or you could add your mesh ribbon. Either one will get you to that magical $50 freebie number. So we're going to put some dimensionals on the back of this. And we're just going to use regular dimensionals back here. Here we go. I feel like I'm a little scattered today. Did you guys get snow where you were? We got kind of like our first big snow here in Michigan. It was kind of a fun day to be inside, and I had some inside stuff to do, so I had some cleanup work to do and some video work to do and some prep work to do, and so I had lots of things going on, and I'm very glad I didn't have to go outside. So I'm just cutting some dimensionals from around my edges because we don't want to waste those, and so I'm just going to put them to good use right here. And again, sometimes I can use my adhesive strips for this. Oh, the little dimensional snuck off with that one. And let's go here. When I'm doing a big piece, I like to have bigger dimensionals rather than just use dimensionals just at both corners. So let's cut a piece over here. Oops, here we go. And this just gives it a little more stability. If you're putting dimensionals on it, you're putting them on there so that your image rises. And so you don't want it to cave in different areas. So use lots of dimensionals. Otherwise, you're going to kind of defeat your purpose. And I think the Stampin' Dimensionals are one of our most economical items in the catalog. So I tend to use a lot of them. Okay. So I'm just going to place this right over the top part of my ribbon. I'm going to kind of line it up with my bow, my little kind of border piece here. There we go. And put it down. Okay, so I'm going to come in and just trim these pieces a little bit. There we go. And then we're going to, of course, add some iridescent sparkles to it. And you can put them all over your card. You can put them on your tag. You can just put one right in the middle of your heart if you wanted to. Mine look like they got kind of smooshed up in their travels to me. Let's see if I can get them apart. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's use your pick of your tool. It's going to be one of those days, I can see. So I'm just going to grab them with my pick your tool. I'll put one there. And maybe, okay, one over here, right at the bottom. And one right there. How about that? Okay. So that's our first card. I hope you guys like it. I'm such a big fan of the bright and shiny that it looks kind of dark on there. I wonder if I can lighten it up with that light a little bit. Let's see if that helped at all. Oh, now it's blinking at me. That's not a good look for you guys, is it? Okay, hi Pam, thanks for joining me. It's been a while since I've seen you here, so. Oh, Debbie, I'm glad you like it. I think it's very cute and very happy. So that's our first card. And then we're gonna do this one. And again, we're gonna use that rainbow die and a new embossing folder. And again, with that die, it's a big die and it does the same thing. It cuts 4 different pieces out at one time. So I have a little bag here with the pieces already cut that were left over from our class. And then we have our class card, which is going to have our little kit, which has your designer series paper in it. And then the piece you're going to put them on, and our word piece, and then our card base, okay? So we'll get started by taking our card piece. And again, this one is 8.5 by 5.5, and it's got a score line on the 8.5 inch side at 4 1/4. So I'm just going to bring my bone folder in and give that a good crease. Okay, and I am going to take my designer series paper and put that on the front of it. And I think I'm going to try this side up just because we used the other side last time. So we'll do it a little different and put this side up. And here's what I mean when I'm doing it. I find that if I grab both corners, diagonal corners, I can kind of keep my paper off until I get it right where I want it, and then just press those corners down. And usually, obviously not today, I can get it much straighter than when I just try and place it on there. Okay? And the other thing sometimes that helps is if I stand up, I tend to be able to get it a little bit straighter also. So now I'm just gonna lift up that corner and put some more Stampin' Seal on there where I peeled it back, okay? So now I'm gonna bring in my cut and emboss machine, and I'm going to emboss with this new embossing folder. This embossing folder is designed for the mini emboss machine, but it works perfectly in this machine also. And I know I just had it because I just showed it to you. Boy, I am really like all over the place tonight. Let's see where I put that. I need like a guardian angel here to go. You just said it right there. Oh my gosh, we were talking on Saturday too when everybody was here about how we just sit in one place. We don't move. We don't get up and walk around. So it can't be like I walked over and left it sitting somewhere. It has to be right here. Oh my goodness. Here it is. Buried. I have too many fun toys on my table, right? So this is, it comes in a combo pack and has the splatters and stripes, and both of them are really, really cool. This one just looks like big, happy raindrops. You know that rain you used to get when you were a kid and you'd be riding your bike in it because it was just, they were such big raindrops just plopping. But because this is a 3D embossing folder, we're going to use a different plate setup. So I have my base plate, and then I'm going to use a number 4. And your embossing folder always goes in with the fold first to keep the pressure off it and keep it from breaking. And then you have this great little line down here so you can make sure that you're putting it in straight. Okay, so I know it's going in straight. I'm going to put my number 4 on top, and then I'm just going to whip it through. I always, when I'm using my embossing machine, like to give it a little bit more stability up here as it's going through, okay? So let's move that machine out of the way. And here we go. It looks so beautiful, doesn't it? I'm so excited. I'm just like a kid when it comes out in this little, isn't that cool? Look at all those really great little specks on it. They just look like huge raindrops or paint splatters even, right? Okay, so I'm again going to build my rainbow on here. Let me get my words out. I'll stamp those. So when you order and get your kit's going to come with all of these pieces cut and embossed and your piece of designer series paper. You'll get all this plus your envelope and your piece of twine and your little goodies, your iridescent dots. So all you're going to have to do is put it together and stamp your sentiment. And you'll even get this piece to stamp your sentiment on. So they're really cool kits. You'll get them for all 3 of the cards that we're going to do. And I know if you're like me, you really are going to need this stamp set. There we go. Pretty good for upside down and 1/2 inch of paper. I'm impressed with myself today. And then I'm just going to take my snips and come in and cut just a little bit of an angle. And that's just going to give it kind of some more fun texture, right? Okay, so then we're going to bring in our rainbow pieces. And again, I just am using the pieces that were left over from what everybody did at class. Here we go. And there we go. Now, these are going to go this way, right? I'm not too good at putting it together upside down, but there we go. That's going to be our rainbow, okay? So I'm going to start with my biggest piece and just put some Stampin' Seal on it. And I'm going to give myself a minute to think about this card placement. I think I'm going to go here. And I think it's going to go almost to the top. Okay. Scoot that over just a bit. All right, then my next piece is going to be my mango. So I'm going to do this. And the cool thing about this is you can easily make 4 cards at a time, just because you're going to use 4 different colors of cardstock. So you can cut once in your die cut machine. And this is gorgeous too, made with designer series paper. That's always a fun little treat. And because all of our paper coordinates, you can pick any piece of paper in that stack, that little 6x6 stack, and be guaranteed that it's all going to look great together. And here's our Bermuda Bay. Last but not least, right? And you guys are going to have to tell me which one of them you like best, with the striped paper or the flowered paper. So this will be our little flowered paper. I guess it's just like little arrows. And then this one's going to be our striped paper. Okay? So again, I'm going to pop this up. If I can find my dimensionals right. You know how that works. We just got to witness how that worked. All right. And I'm just going to cut these 2 side pieces right in half. And we'll use those. And you guys can tell, especially you guys that watch me on a regular basis, that I like my dimensionals. I think they're something that I use. I don't think I've really ever make an entire card where I don't pop something up. You guys will have to remind me if I have done one. Now I'm curious. I might have to take a look around and see. Do I have a card with her? Nothing is on it dimensional? All right. I think I'm going to stick one right in here, too. Okay. So here we go. And I think I might even like this one better with this striped paper because I really like that brightness of that color. Got my little blue guy hanging out there. I'll have to trim him off. I don't want any pieces hanging over the edge. All right, make sure my card is going in the right direction. And I'm going to try and put this right in the middle. Here we go. And I'm going to pop this up, but I'm going to take just a little piece of this mesh. And I'm going to tie it in a knot. I love how versatile this mesh is. So I'm going to tie it in a knot and cut it. And then I'm going to take my snips and I'm going to make 2 slits in it right up to my knot. And this is going to help it to just kind of fan out so it gets to be even wider than it was before. So you get that kind of really cool look there where it's all fanned out like that. And then I'm just going to turn it around and make 2 more cuts on the other side. And I make them all the way up to the knot. And then I'm going to put this on with a glue dot. See how fun that is? I just think that is such a neat little trick with it to kind of fan it out. So I'm going to get my little glue dots out here and put one right where my knot is. And put that about, maybe a little bit up. So it's not quite in the middle. Like that. And then I'm going to take dimensionals and put them on each end and in the middle of my words. My little sentiment. And that 1/2 inch leaves me just enough room for that dimensional to fit right in the middle on there. Okay. And I'm going to twist it a little bit more. And I want it so it's not right, my dimensional is not on top of my knot. Okay, and then I am going to come in with some more sparkles. And I think I'm going to use my big ones because we have some places that are really kind of empty. So I'll use the big ones. Okay, so those big ones I'm just going to pick up and use. Wow. Here we go. So I'm going to put one in here. And another one down in there. And then one kind of right on that melon mambo. It looks like it needs a jewel, doesn't it? So I'll put it right in there. I think I'll go on the blushing bride. There we go. Okay. So this is your second card. And here's the one we did in class. So you guys leave me a little note and let me know which one you like better. Which background do you like better? And you can see we used all of the same colors, just from different spots in the rainbow. Super fun. Okay, and we have one more still. This one's gonna be a good one. Okay, lots of pieces in this one. So we have our designer series paper, which is going to go together like this. And that one I like is kind of bright and cheery. Because of the night of navy, it looks almost like it's nighttime out, right? So this is our 5.5 by 8.5, scored on the 8.5 inch side at 4 1/4. We're just gonna burnish that. And we'll set it aside. You know what, we might as well go ahead while we're in here and our pieces are in here. I'm gonna do adhere my designer series paper, and it is 5 1/4 by 4. And again, I'm gonna try going sideways. There we go. Nice. And we'll set that aside, and then this designer series paper is gonna go on our little piece of melon mambo. They're just gonna layer up very nicely, and we're gonna use a die from the rainbow set. Now can you guys see why I love this paper? Isn't it gorgeous? I think all of the sheets of it are super fun. Okay, so we're gonna use this Magenta Madness. And we're gonna use these dies. And I think we have enough little pieces here to do our rainbow. Those are leftover pieces from yesterday. So we'll just have to see how we're gonna layer them up to make them work. And we're gonna cut this with this die. Where are my papers? My white papers are not big enough. I know I brought that whole pack over here, so let's just grab a different one. I'll grab a different piece. This piece is for these guys. All right, and then that piece, and let's see if there's another one. Oh yeah, there I go. This one must be big enough for here. Okay, so I'm gonna cut some clouds out, and then I'm gonna cut our white rainbow piece out. So let's bring in our big shot, and because we're just die cutting, we're gonna use our number 1, a 2, a 3, and a 3. All right. They were here for class. Everybody had their own die cut machines on their spot, so we didn't have to pass those around or have a station where people was waiting in line. It was very convenient that way. I think I'll continue to do it that way. Okay, so here go my clouds on this little white piece and my rainbow. I like how tiny that little rainbow is. I think it's so cute. So we'll crank these guys through here. Oh, that little cloud was trying to stay put over there. All right, let's get that out. We're not going to use that anymore tonight. Okay, so let's start out with our words. Isn't this just the cutest little rainbow piece? And we're going to stamp some words right in the center here. And our Magenta Madness. It says, a little something to brighten your day. I'm actually going to stamp it up here and make sure it's straight. Okay. And I'm going to put it right there. Okay. And then what I'm going to do, because I want to add those little color strips into that rainbow at the top. You can put a piece of regular tape there if you wanted to. Just some tape like this from the drugstore. You can put that right behind it if you want to, and that will hold yours in there. In fact, I think that's what I'm going to do. Yesterday at class, I had a little circle punched out, and we taped the circle behind there. And then your little colors glued right to that circle. But I'm going to try this and see if it works. So I'm just going to put this piece of tape behind there. And then I'm going to trim off my edges. because my rainbow is obviously round and my tape is not. And I'm using my snips at an angle to just kind of get right under there. Okay, so now you have that tape sticky side up. So let's see if we do mango and misty moonlight and pink. Okay, so that's how I think that we need to do it. Or we could do misty moonlight and pink and then mango. I think we'll do that. Let's start with misty moonlight and then do our pink and then our mango. So our magenta. So you're just gonna stick this, and if you had a pair of tweezers, you can use those, but I'm just gonna kind of pop it in there. And because you have that tape back there, it's gonna stick because it's nice and sticky. So then I'll take our magenta and pop it in there. And then our mango. And you can add that third piece in there if you want to, but I did not because I want my clouds to kind of pop. So here's one cloud. Let's see what happened to the other one. Here is our other one. And I'm going to actually pop our little white piece in there. There we go. Okay. And I am going to hit these clouds with some Wink of Stella, because I think clouds are nice and soft and fluffy, and I think Wink of Stella is nice and soft and fluffy. We were talking about Wink of Stella at our latest demo get-together online, and one of the girls actually Googled and was able to tell us where Wink of Stella, where the name came from. So if you guys have any guesses, leave them in the comment section. It's kind of a fun little game to play, right? Okay, so let's put this aside and we'll let those kind of dry and we'll get this piece together. I'm gonna take a piece of this mesh and I'm gonna wrap it around here, and this time I'm gonna tie it in a bow. So you guys have seen it in a knot and you've seen it cut and given more texture, and now we're just gonna tie a bow with it. A plain old fun time bow. And I'm gonna go towards this side of my card. I'm just gonna leave my finger in there and tie it in a knot first. And then I'll turn it this way so you can see. I'm just gonna do my bunny ears and I'm gonna really whip it up tight so I can see where my hole is, and that will make it easier to pull through there. So I have my two bunny ears, one's going down and through the hole and back up, okay? So I have this really cool bow. It's gonna look really nice next to my rainbow. I think I might even try and pull it that way. Let's see. Okay. All right, so then I'm gonna bring in this little guy, and I want this to be down at the bottom, or okay. And I'm gonna put him up on some dimensionals too. You know what, I'm not. I'm gonna stick him down flat, and then I'm gonna put dimensionals on my clouds. Okay, so I'm just gonna put my rainbow down with some Stampin' Seal in this corner here. And I think I'll use some baby dimensionals for this. I don't think a big one will fit, but let's try it. We can always cut one in half if it doesn't. Oh, perfect. All right. And these dies come with lots of rainbow, or yeah, lots of dies in them. So you have lots of little clouds that you can use. I like that you can run them through. One die has 2 clouds on it. So I'm just gonna put these right up at the top of a little rainbow. And I think I'll kind of go a little up more there. I'm gonna make this one go over a little. There. Okay, and then I'm gonna put this on without using dimensionals, just with my Stampin' Seal. And again, you guys are gonna have to tell me which designer series paper you like it best, because we used 2 different ones, and each one gives it a totally different look. Now, I like my bow better going like this than like this. So I'm just gonna take a little glue dot, put it on my paper snips, and stick it right under where my knot is. Ooh. And pull it down that way, okay? So that's gonna make my ribbon go like that. And let's gussy it up with some more gems. How about that? And I think this time I'll put my gems on my card base. So we'll just do kind of a little cluster right up here in the corner. Why is my putty not sticking tonight? Wow, I'm gonna have a big mess to clean up when I'm done. Okay, I'm gonna go here with it. And you can put your gems anywhere. You could even add more gems down there if you wanted to. I'm just gonna trim up my ribbon down here so it's a little more proportional. Okay, so how about this? We have this beautiful little stars, like a little starry night. And then we have some light with a little hearts. They're little white hearts. Okay, so you guys can tell me, leave a comment, let me know which one of these backgrounds you like better, and which one of these backgrounds you like. Oh, those were not even the same card. Which one of these backgrounds you like together. So you guys can see, you have just tons and tons of options with this little 6x6 pack of paper. And then you have this really bright one. All right, you guys, that's it for tonight. I will post your host code at the top of this post where this video is. And I do hope that you guys will place an order with me so you can get these designer series papers for free and love them as much as I do. You guys have a great week and stay warm. Bye-bye.